Wow. Well, let's start with the first one, Follow God. Puya, it seems like he's picking up on some words from an old album, Father Stretch Your Hands, well, a song. What makes those two songs different? What's the difference between them?
Yeah, so he's sampling... So on Love and Pablo, on the song Father Stretch My Hands, he uses the same sample that's in this song. That song, Father Stretch My Hands from Love and Pablo, that song opens with the line, if I F this model and she bleaches her arsehole and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'm gonna feel like an arsehole. So as you can see, they're quite similar. No, they're very different. But yeah, it's
What
cool.
do you see now? I mean,
yeah,
that kind of song.
It's interesting because Life of Pablo was advertised as a gospel album with lots of swearing. And even Kanye has said this himself, it's not a gospel album. There was a picture of a woman in a thong on the front, on the album cover. And it seems like this is kind of, I guess, almost a redemption from that. This is an actual gospel album. It has a gospel message.
Yeah, so the album's redemption. I think this song is not quite so much a redemption as a striving at redemption, because he's actually, it's just, you know, it's like he's saying, my dad just keeps saying to me, you're not behaving the right way, that's not Christ-like. And so there's the double layers, and there's the dad in the car, he's in with the car, but actually he's also talking about God, isn't he? And this constant, this self-awareness now that he's not who he should be. And yet he wants to be that new man. I wonder, it just occurred to me as you were telling me again about the bleaching and the rest of it, if that's actually perhaps why he chose that sample to resonate with that, because it's such a stark reminder of who he used to be. And one of the main things that's coming through this album is just this massive change in Kanye, and here he's struggling to be the man that he wants to be. Raise my hands, help me.
I think the last bit of this song really speaks to me. I've had this argument with my dad before, where he starts yelling at me, I start yelling at him back, it's like, hey, you're a Christian, you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, damn it, come on, man. So, yeah, I find this song really interesting. Yeah, as you were saying, he's trying to be a godly man, and he keeps slipping up. And he hasn't had the best relationship with his dad as well. His dad wasn't really around when he was growing up. I think he's only recently really reconnected with him. So I find it interesting that it's
and that just it's two layers as well, right? The whole thing's a metaphor for his relationship with God.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I'm being too deep and fancy when I say that. He's expressing it that way, isn't he?
Yeah, well, moving on to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Puya, I know you're not such a fan of this one either. What's up with that?
He wasn't.
David's turned me around on this song, but before he did, I did not like this song. This song, I would skip it if I could. I'm not really into the whole, like, Chick-fil-A, I don't know, like, I'm just not into the whole connection with the conservative Christian movement in the USA. I kind of was annoyed that he was getting himself involved with that. And I thought it was a bit of a cheesy hook. I still don't really think it works for me. Kanye has this dorky sense of humor that he's had on other albums as well. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This didn't work for me, but I really like the content in the verses, especially about his family. It shows that he's taking his faith seriously.
And I think we're going to see some more of his family later as well.
Yeah, but David, your analysis on this.
I actually reckon he's gone right to the heart of the cultural war that is sweeping the United States and actually a lot of Western culture. As soon as you hear, if you're aware of conservative culture in the United States, or like the woke social, I forget what we call it now, the social warrior guys, then you'll know that Chick-fil-A is one of the main battlegrounds for that battle. It's a privately owned company, but the guys that own it are traditionalists, and therefore traditional marriage, and they gave some money to a group that was for traditional marriage, and therefore not, people said, for LGBT, and you know, if you don't salute that flag, then a whole bunch of people want to get rid of you. And a boycott was actually announced in America over Chick-fil-A over the marriage issue, and Chick-fil-A's profits that year went up because all the conservatives and the Christians went, hell no, that's now my number one choice for fast food, and went and bought Chick-fil-A. So I hear the word Chick-fil-A, and it just says to me, Kanye's plunged himself in the middle of it. He says, I buy Chick-fil-A. And then he expresses, I love the way he expresses it. He talks about, well, raise our sons, about my family, standing up for them. And so he's saying, I want to be one of those Christians now who stands up for the right thing, even if I'm on my own. See that? Even if I'm on my own. And then in the second verse, stepping into another little associated social battle. That line of "they'll think twice stepping onto my land, I draw the line, it's written in the sand." That's kind of the language of the gun ownership guys who go, "I have the right to defend my property. You step over the boundary line with malice, I will shoot you."
Yeah.
But what's
why
really
is he saying that?
Why is he saying that?
Is this about them, or is it about?
I think I want to protect my family from this culture there that I think is really, really wrong on a number of things, and I want to protect them. So I'm going to switch off the Instagram, he says, and all that kind of stuff. But then, having evoked the gun language, and before, of course, called himself a soldier of Christ, he then goes, "Now back off my family, move your hands." But then he says, "I got my weapons in the Spirit's land," and it's a reference to a very famous little bit in Ephesians 6, a letter in the New Testament, where the Apostle Paul says, our weapons are not physical, they're spiritual. So we fight by praying, by opening the Bible and telling people the truth. So he uses quite strong language, but then he says, just so I'm clear, I'm a Christian man now, so I've holstered my gun and I've taken out what I actually think is a far more powerful weapon. My Bible.
Well, there's another little reference
Yeah,
there. I don't get.
Yep.
Jezebel don't even stand a chance. What's that?
Jezebel, back in the Old Testament, was the wife of a guy called Ahab, who was about as bad as kings get. Only Jezebel was really, really worse than him. The king of Israel was always meant to be the leader of the nation, the man who led them in their spiritual life as well, and to some extent, as well as the priests. He was meant to be the good, godly man who led, and Ahab was the exact opposite of that, and his wife Jezebel was even worse, and she led him away. And she's symbolic of structures of power that are against God's people. And you know that today. That still hangs in our cultures today. You can go to the registry office, nobody names their daughter Jezebel. Trust me. I have never baptized a Jezebel. It doesn't happen. That name today still evokes that sense. And what's Kanye saying? He's going even Jezebel herself. Not going to stand against me.
Okay, so there's this divide, and he's pushing against
And
one side of that.
He's saying I'm on one side very, very clearly here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to move us on.
Yep.